Hello Internet, James Allen from Out of 8, and today I'm playing sports management game Front Page Sports Football. It's developed by Cyanide Studio, they of Pro Cycling Manager fame and Blood Bowl and a couple other titles. They basically bought the name and decided to release a new version of the heralded football management series for American football. So we're just going to create a new league. When you create a new league, you can either do an official league where it has fake players and fake teams but set up like the National Football League, or random teams in random cities with random players with random stats and all that stuff. You can't have a lot of customization. You can't upload your own avatar if you'd like for your coach. You pick your city, so I'm going to pick the Jacksonville Cougars. As you can see here, all the players are basically the names of the real players, but off by one letter in their last name. So I actually get a pretty good amount of enjoyment out of this by the Jaguars quarterback Blake Bortles. I really like that. It's one of my favorite things. So I'll be screaming out his name, I'm sure, during the course of the game. So you can choose your team. You can't customize the other teams or the players on any of the teams without going in and messing with the database files if you choose to do so. You can't customize the player ratings. You can't rename other teams. You can actually rename your team on the next screen. I'll just keep it as it is, although I'll tweak their uniform a little bit to kind of reflect it a little bit better. And there you go. So you get your new league over here. And here's your main screen. You can see that the game is kind of fixed at this kind of low resolution. If you make it any bigger resolution, it just fills in the outside with some blurred picture of a stadium. You have a 53-man roster, no surprise there. You have to worry about your finances, has all your contracts and stuff, and the salary cap and all those sorts of things that you have to worry about. On your roster, it has this little, chalkboard display of where everybody is on different parts of the field. You can adjust your depth chart over here on the side, assign people to different depth positions. However, if you click through and just look at the individual positions, it doesn't actually let you adjust them here, which is really kind of weird, the way that it decided to do that. So I don't think there's going to be too much I change to make it reflect reality. You have these little circles here, which kind of gives you an overall rating. It goes from white is the worst, and then turquoise, green, yellow, and red is the best. And obviously with the Jaguars, you're not going to have very many red ratings. I do think I'm going to actually adjust the wide receivers here. We'll put Marquise, wide receiver 1, Allen 2, Cecil will keep on 3. You can click and Cecil Sharts. Robinson 4 and Mike Brown's fine. That's fine. Tight ends are fine. We will not put Bowenko on the bench. We'll put McClendon on the practice squad. I don't know why they would, Bowenko's starting anyway. So they do have 2014 players, which is pretty nifty. Let's see who my tackles are. They don't have Pastorian, I guess. Nope, they don't. All right, and then we'll just look at defense. This is probably pretty close to what it is, JT Thomas. So this looks fine. Winston Guide, free safety. I don't know why they have different. They don't have Cyprian starting at strong safety, which is a little weird. So I actually would put him at free safety. We'll put Cyprian at strong safety 1. There we go. That'll work. All right. And then tweak your special teams if you so choose. There's injuries. There's not really an IR. You just kind of rest players, kind of generic rest. You can recruit other players that are free agents, sign into a contract. And you can also scout players if you so choose. Over here, you can have weekly trainings, which is actually kind of interesting. For the morning, you can either do technical or physical training. So I'm going to have my quarterbacks do arm training. And then we'll do, let's do footwork with my offensive line. My offensive line needs a lot of practice. And then you can do little workouts 4 groups. We'll have my linebackers work out. And we'll have our safeties, defensive backs, work out. And then in the afternoon, you can do little video sessions where you can analyze your upcoming opponents, if you so choose, or practice a specific play, you know, and just get better at that play. Or have a meeting. So I'm going to choose Blake Bortles as my offensive leader. And we'll do Cyprian on defense. If I can find him, there he is. And then you can do little scrimmages. Again, picking a play that you so choose. There we go. Under your game plan, you can pick one of the set playbooks. You can adjust your kind of percentages there for when they do things. You can also customize the playbook, although it's really tedious. When you delete plays, it doesn't actually update the number at the top. You have 80 plays. At any point in time, you can access 16 of the plays during a game. And there's a whole bunch of plays to choose from, so lots of different formations. And here's spread, and then normal, and then all these different plays that you can put into your playbook. So a lot of good options there, I will say. And then the rest of it's just, your normal league information, standings, your upcoming schedule, and all the stats that'll accumulate over time. The game does have a lot of bugs. In all the leagues that I've started, and I've started a number of them and then have deleted them once they got to the broken point, it just stops simming stuff for teams. I don't understand why. Especially for your team, it'll just stop simming games. So I've had, 8 weeks into the season, I'll have some teams that have played all 8 weeks, and some teams have played 7, and some have played 4, and it just stops randomly simming people. There's a lot of restrictions during the game that I'll get to when we actually start the game. But, they need to fix the bugs. I mean, once you've played this game for a while, it seems like it's something that would be more tailored towards early access, and they probably should have released it as an early access game rather than a quote-unquote complete release. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead to the first preseason game. It only has 2 preseason games for some reason. And then we'll play that to show you what the on-field action is like. And we'll run through a game and we'll see how it goes. After we sim here. It takes kind of a long time to sim games and sim weeks. So there's a little bit of lengthy time you have to spend doing here. While you're playing a game, you can't save the game or pause the game. So once you start a game, you have to finish it. You can tell it to sim the rest, but that, in my experience, tends to break it and make it so it doesn't sim any more games for your team for the rest of the year. You can also get to the point where it won't even let you play games. You'll start a game, as we'll see here in a minute, and then it just won't do anything. It'll just hang at the screen and then basically lock up where you can't do anything. So there's a lot of bugs that they need to figure out what's going on before the game even becomes playable for more than a couple games at the beginning of each season, or beginning of a season, let alone additional seasons. So hopefully it'll work. Usually I've been able to get about 2 or 3 games into the season before things start breaking. So we'll see what happens. With this preseason game, I don't even know who I'm playing. So there's your weekly training results. So it shows you what all your stuff happens. And then we'll do a live match. There we go, and it actually worked, yay. So this is your default TV view. It's kind of this, side angle thing. As you would expect in a management game, all the stuff is done automatically without your necessary input. So here's your 16 plays that you have access to. So you just kind of pick one. I'm going to do a sweep, start off. And then you click play, and then it goes. So we'll hand off to Gerhardt, and he'll get like no yards probably. Oh, look at that, gain of 2. Yeah, that's about right. That's about what he does. And there you go. I actually kind of like that it only gives you some of the plays. It seems to give you a good mix between pass plays and run plays. And somebody took a timeout for some reason. After the timeout, you actually have access to all your plays if you want. Yeah, they took a timeout. The game doesn't adhere to all of the rules for football. Defensive backs have a problem with covering a little bit. More of a problem is there's hardly any long passes. Most of your passes are about 10 yards, 10 to 15 yards. Like that's a 13-yard gain, which sounds about right. Bad passes are okay like that. That's fine. But, you know, there's no, like, 60-yard passes unless someone's completely uncovered and just kind of rumbles all the way down the field. Also, as you'll find out when we get to a 4th down, you can't actually decide what to do on 4th down. Oh, look at that run. You can't do onside kicks. You can't go for 2. All the substitutions are automatic, which actually doesn't bother me too much. The clock stoppage rules are wrong. There's no 2-minute warning. You know, if you go out of bounds, it won't stop. It'll just, you know, have some sort of, you know, the clock will keep going. The penalties are wrong sometimes. You know, you have offside penalty for 4 yards. There only seem to be a couple penalties in the game. I haven't seen, like, defensive pass interference or anything like that. Come on, Bortless. Throw a pass and complete it. All right, so 3rd and 10. You know, the game won't let you choose whether you go for it on 4th down or, and there's another deflection. So I have no choice here. The game automatically punts. You know, you can't choose whether to go for a field goal or go for it. So I really don't know the reason for that. Unless they just didn't put those types of plays in and there's a touchback. All right, so now I'm on defense. So again, you're just going to kind of pick plays. I have really bad run defense for basically every team I've ever played. I don't know if that's a symptom of the game or the fact that I play crappy teams. So we'll see. There's man. Another thing you can do is the tactical view, and I'll show that off in a second. Maybe. Or not. It's an overhead view, which everybody's a little circle. So it makes it so you can kind of see things a little bit easier. Or not. Or I can't use the tactical view. Yeah, that makes about sense. You can also see little recaps, so you can see all the stats. Nice passing stats there, Blake. 1 for 5 for 12 yards. Scoring something, although that won't be very interesting. And then a lot of stats. So, I mean, overall the stats seem to be fairly decent. Ah, 4th and 1. Get the ball back. You know, the way it gets to those stats isn't necessarily the most realistic thing in the world, but gain of 42. Okay. Whatever that means. I'm going to try to establish the run here, and we'll see what happens. Also seems to be a lot of field goals. I think that's because of the lack of long passes in the game. You know, there's a lot of, like, 26 to 13 scores, that sort of thing. Instead of, you know, 28-21, something like that. I think it's just because the quarterbacks don't pass it far down the field. They don't try to stretch the field at all, even if you're running a vertical passing game. That was a deflected pass. 3rd and 3. Let's try to do a run. So, you know, a lot of issues that add up to, 1st down. A less than enthusiastically receptive game, I would say. which is too bad because we really need a good American football management game on the PC. Until they got sacked. There's your Jaguar offensive line, ladies and gentlemen. He likes the boot. Hey, there we go. Mercedes. Who's injured? In real life. 3rd and 4. Let's do a run here. If I had time, I would do a better playbook. Than, Jaguars don't really run double tight end. And I can't go for it, so not that I would. I don't know, maybe I would. 4th and 2 at midfield. You can see that it does run off time in between plays, so it ends up being about the right amount of plays. The sad thing is there's pieces of a good game in here. It's just there's so many problems, at least right now, and probably until they come up with a version next year, inevitably, that you can't really recommend it. 2nd and 2. So let's play our game here. There's also no sound in the game. 20-yard gain. Illegal use of hands. Penalty of 5. Okay. Actually, that's a fairly accurate representation of the Jaguars' ability to cover tight ends, so. Man press. A lot of short passes. Yep. Offside defense. There's also an offside offense, which I guess is supposed to be a false start, but they just say offside offense, I suppose. Tackle him. 2nd and 2. They have a lot of cover. The defense players don't do zone too terribly well. Illegal use of hands. Penalty 5. Oh, you stink. Terrible job tackling. Who is that? You're cut. Alright. 7-0. No surprise there. Kick to the 10. That doesn't really happen. Net result is around the 20-yard line, so it ends up working out in the end, but... Alright, let's try to get some passes going, ladies. Throwing on the tight end. I like to run the ball, please. Gain of 0. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, Denard. Let's get a first down. Gain of 0. Yeah, 3 out. What a surprise. Tackled by C shots. Jaguars actually run a cover 3. So I'll try cover 3 and see what happens. Jeez. Marching down the field again. Play clock's about to reset. And that should be the end of the quarter, but it's not. Now it's restarted at the beginning of the first quarter, kinda. Even though it's actually in the second quarter. Oh, there it goes. And it reversed the field. And some of the yardages are all like that. Was said it was a gain of 4, but it's 2nd and 7. That sort of, little things like that are noticeable after a while of playing. No run defense. I don't even know what he's... How much are they running for? 3 for 19. That's actually not too unrealistic considering. Tactical view work yet? No. Nope. Another gain of 13. I don't really have a... where's my run defense? Yay. 2nd down. 2nd and 10. From the 7. Figure out that math. Touchdown. Yeah. Extra point. All right. Let's try to get something going. Probably play up to halftime, I would say. Nice. It's all about throwing to the tight end, apparently. Well, that's man defense. Deflected. Let's try to run it. See what happens. Yeah, gain of -2. Or a loss of 2. Whichever. Alright, 3rd and 12, throw a 4-yard pass. Nah, 8-yard pass. Time to punt. Automatically. Get him! There you go. Alright, let's see if we can actually stop him on a drive. My guess would be no. Ooh. Oh, yay. 3rd and 3. Just want to score some points. That'd be nice. Alright, let's do a blitz on 3rd down. Blitzing doesn't seem to work either. Because the passes are short. So they don't... Ugh. So blitzing isn't really effective. And yet I still do it. The quality of the field stuff, personal offense, it doesn't really bother me. Because, I realize it's a management game. I'm not looking for Madden-style presentation with it. But if you're going to do it like this, you need to have all your other ducks in a row, and they certainly don't in this game. Second and 9. Man, weak blitz. AI actually seems to do a good job picking plays and running teams for the most part. Alright, cover 3 press. This is what you guys do. Okay, good. 4th down. So I don't have any complaints in that area. AI is good to play against. Run! Tackle. That's usually what happens every time. Run for 2 yards and then gets immediately tackled. Alright, wheel route. Let's go. You have all these long, routes, and they just don't wait for them to develop. The guys are still running their routes. And, they drop back and immediately pass the ball. Which cuts down on the number of sacks, but cuts down on the long pass plays. They don't wait for anybody to get open. The most they pass it through the air is like 5 yards. Doesn't really matter who's a quarterback. 3rd and 1. Well, let's do a running play. So I can lose 2 yards. Oh, look at that. Gain of 2. Good job, Gerhardt. Earn that money. Oh, look. What a pass. 21 yards. Let's do counter. You might get some points before halftime. Or not. Yeah, let's do a boot. Like to roll out Bortles. Bloop. Hello. Hello. Mercedes Lewis. Caught like a whole bunch. I don't want to do a bubble. It's asking for trouble. How many catches? Yeah, he has 6 catches for 70 yards. Allen Robinson has 1. Cecil Shorts has 1. After a while, you just kind of see, if you're familiar with the players, you just kind of, there's a sack. You just kind of substitute their real name in for the fake name. Let's do a pitch. Yeah, pitch with Robinson. He's fast. Whoop. Yeah, that was actually somewhat effective, and they got a penalty, which gave me a 1st down. So that penalty was actually correct. All right, 2 minutes. 50 seconds. Let's get some points. Get a touchdown. Yeah, go. Marquise. Again, there's no 2-minute warning, so I might have to use my timeouts here. Oh, come on. Alright, now, incomplete pass, under 5 minutes in the half, so the clock should stop, which it doesn't. Ugh, give me a break. And somehow I still have a first down? Okay. Run! Run! Alright. Another catch from Mercedes. Alright, timeout. Timeout, Cougars. That probably just broke it. Nope, no. It almost did. I was thinking it was gonna. Alright, what do I want to do? 2nd and 1? Let's try to do a run play. I got timeouts. Let's pitch it. Pitch it to Gerhardt. This will end up working out well, I'm sure. Oh, no, they took a timeout. Alright then. Their timeout strategy is not great, though. Alright, first down. Timeout. Alright, let's try to pass it into the end zone. Let's do single back 4. Yeah, that looks good. Come on, Bortless. Get it! Yeah! Touchdown! Yay! Good job, Bortless, and whoever caught that ball. I'll find out who caught that ball in a second. Extra boy's good! Who did catch that? Cecil Shorts. Good job. Pass for 2. Total progression of 6 yards. Shorts run for 5 yards. What? Alright, whatever. That'll take us to halftime. So, and that's where I'm going to stop because you're not going to see anything different in the second half. Release too early is the bottom line here. There are some things that I like. I like the number of plays. There's lots of plays to choose from. It basically has up-to-date rosters through the 2014 season with the all the NFL players and stuff, and you can figure out who's who. But there's the bugs with not simming games correctly, not being able to see tactical view. Oh, there goes tactical view. Maybe. No, that was halftime. There it goes. There's tactical view. Whoa, watch this for a little bit. Magically fixed itself. Your game basically breaks after a little bit. When it decides to stop simming some of the team's games for no apparent reason. It's a bug that they need to fix. I like the training where you can practice specific plays, although you can't access all your plays, so you might not be able to use the play that you really want to use during the game. And do all that other stuff during the training mode. That's kind of nice. The finances are fine. It has a confusing color code system for determining which players are better than which other players. But you kind of get used to that. You can adjust your depth chart, although you can't do it on position-specific pages, which is kind of weird. During the game is when you have more issues. The timing rules aren't right. You can't decide what to do on 4th down. You can't go for 2. You can't do an onside kick. You can't have any input on the substitutions, although it doesn't bother me too much. The clock stoppage rules are wrong. The penalties aren't technically correct. Good Lord, McRae. AI seems to be okay during the game, but there's a lot of issues and polish that's missing from playing the game. So, in the end, this is a game released way too early that needs a lot of improvement for it to have even basic functionality that I think people would expect, coming over from other management games. So unless things get significantly fixed quickly, this is a game you can certainly avoid, even if you're an avid fan of American football like I am. So that's all I have for today. Till next time, bye now.